Hey guys, Concurrent Flame here with an unboxing of the iPhone X 256GB. So, while I'm taking this out of the box, I'm going to give you some of the specs. It weighs 6.14 ounces. It has a 5.8-inch OLED Super Retina HD display. The resolution on that display is 2436 pixels by 1125 pixels. It uses iOS 11. This is 256GB model. It does support Apple Pay. It has the A11 Bionic chip. And I gotta find this quick tab over here. Along with that, it has 3GB of RAM. Supports 4G, obviously. I believe there's a new... Nope, never mind. There's a dual camera, 12 megapixels in the rear and 7 megapixels in the front. I believe the iPhone 6s has a 5 megapixel camera, and it supports 4K 60 FPS video recording, along with 1080p at 240 FPS, and the iPhone 7 can only, or iPhone 6 can only, 7 probably too, can only do that at 720p, that rate of FPS. So the box, iPhone, Apple logo within mirror, sort of like shiny text, and the bottom just has the information. And this does include the iPhone X, the earpods connected to Lightning, which I've been waiting 2 years to get new earpods for. It does have a headphone jack adapter. I'm interested in that. Lightning to USB, USB power adapter, and all that fun stuff. And there's a new version of Bluetooth that came out. I'm not sure if the iPhone 7 has it, but yeah, this is the silver color, by the way. So right on top, we don't actually have the pull thing anymore. Little circle. It just says designed by Apple in California. This phone, the 64GB will cost you about $1,000, whereas this one will cost you $1,200 for 256GB. So it says hello, welcome to the iPhone. This iPhone does not have a home button, but it does have a sort of touchscreen home button. Doesn't have a physical one. So you don't have Touch ID, it has Face ID instead, which uses something like, I think it's called a dot matrix that projects on your face to tell the depth, or something like that from the phone. They're probably relative to each other, I have no clue though. So you basically use this bottom thing as your home. If you want to unlock, you know, you can't just look at it, you have to swipe up and then look at it. By the way, if you get this phone and you give it to your kids, here's a big warning. Don't unlock it for them with their face showing. Because if you unlock it to them and they're looking at the phone, it'll think your kid is you, and you can't unlock your phone, but your kid can, and you'll have to use the passcode, and that's not a good thing, especially if you want to control your children. So there's a ring and silent switch, obviously volume buttons, tap to wake. Because it's OLED, you can actually shut off individual pixels as well. So that means that this screen is technically always on, but the screen, it can shut it off. So it can feel when you're pressing the screen when it's not displaying anything, which is something no other iPhone can do other than the iPhone X, because of them using LCD, which does look impressive. Also, another warning, if you use this phone, don't use it on full brightness, or else it will burn into the screen. It will cause screen burn, and that's not good. There's actually a way to fix that, but Apple hasn't said anything yet. So there's 3D Touch. I absolutely hate 3D Touch, and I bet it's even better on this. Side buttons, obviously. There's there's just, so if you hold it, you'll activate Siri. If you press once, it'll wake up the phone, and if you press the power button twice on the right side, you will. Sorry, I wasn't showing you that. You will actually activate Apple Pay. So the reason why I'm going over this is because a lot of stuff has changed, and it's worth looking over, and it's been many years before the actual functions of the buttons has changed, so other than the placement of the buttons. So there's power off and SOS. I mean, you could do that with your current iPhone. If you just slap the power button enough, it will take you to these two sliders, and that's it. And we have the Apple stickers and this jargon. Right, so next we have the iPhone. I'll get to that real quick. So we have the US power adapter, and this actually is okay. Good. All right, that was clever. They actually use a matte finish now, so all those Chinese knockoffs can't use clear anymore. You gotta switch, gotta get with the game. And this is still shiny, so nothing's changed there. Right, we have the Lightning to aux converter, which I can confirm does fit 2.5 millimeter. Why wouldn't it? Here, I'll just plug this from here. So your standard earphones will convert. However, note that all your audio quality will be sourced through this because it's turning from digital to analog. I believe this adapter has a chip, even though it doesn't seem like it. It would probably have to, or the iPhone. So before you'd have to have a nice amp, but now, or amp inside the iPhone, really tiny one. But now it's all digital, so that's gonna sound superior in some aspect. Probably not. So I feel like something's changed on here. I never had the Lightning earbuds, earpods, whatever these are, Apple earbuds. Nope, nothing's changed. Still the same. Nice thing. Nice earbuds. I love these. In my opinion, they're some of the best earphones out there. Apple, I always love the way they make the earphones. Always nice. And then standard 1 meter long, 3-foot Lightning cable. Still on USB. And still on Lightning. I hope they go both USB-C. That'll be the day. Right. So now we're going to get to the iPhone, which you came here for, in 4K. And my hair looks like garbage. There it is. And oh, okay, well, apparently we got something on the screen. Couldn't even see that. Alright. So this is actually so dark, I'm having trouble in real life seeing where the screen and the black bar on top goes. I have to look at it at this angle. You can see it better than me, actually. There's a dot projector in there, camera in there, IR. It's just an IR thing. I have no clue what it does. I have trouble Googling it, but there's an IR, tiny little IR thing in there you can see with the camera at night. And your speaker. Here's where the home button would be. There's the left side. You have the vibrate and sound. And this actually feels better than a normal iPhone on this switch. So power up, power down. It's a nice shiny finish. I like it. I don't like these antenna lines, but whatever. I guess it's better than the alternate. Down here we have, I believe there's speakers on both sides, but there has to be a microphone down here too. So the microphone's usually on the right. On my MacBook it is, or it's on the left, because all I hear is sound on one cup. But those, I believe they're both speakers though, because they both sounded. They both the iPhone seems to have better sound. iPhone 7 as well. And iPhone 8. I'm just going to neglect the iPhone 8 for a while. This is where you put your SIM card. Your other SIM cards won't work, only the newer ones. But if you have an iPhone 6 or I believe 5S, they all use the same card. And then here's your power button. I feel like that got a little bit bigger. And I'm going to try powering this on. It's not turning on. Here's the back side. It's all made of glass. Be careful. I've seen at least 3 reviews already that have cracked the glass. Online articles, I mean, not reviews. And people just, for some reason, don't have a case. I have a case here. $5 Amazon. Maybe even less. Seems like a nice case, too, I thought. Glass at the bottom. It just says iPhone. No other sort of stuff on there. I'm not sure if other iPhones have sort of labeling and whatnot. Top, there's absolutely nothing, not even a dot. And here's a look at the camera, just in case you wanted to see. If you want to get a clip-on attachment for the camera, I don't think it's going to work, because you're obviously going to need one for both cameras. Yeah, there. Try to show that. Apparently this is called Retina Flash, according to Apple. And there might be there's a tiny little hole in here. I think that's a microphone. And this is water resistant, and oh my goodness. First thing right off the bat, this screen looks very impressive. Definitely a difference from the 6S that I'm using. Although it feels like the white is a little bit yellow. That's interesting. I'm sure they'll fix that over time. Oh my god. This just feels so weird. It's just so, like, far against the bezel. Yeah, although it's kind of a stretch to reach that high. Although down low, I'd feel fine kind of going like this. Up here, it's kind of bad. Right. So I'm going to So I'm gonna set this up. I might just display some photos. See ya. Alright, so I've been using the iPhone X for about a couple days now, and sorry about the daytime photos. I couldn't really get too many. I just showed you some of the portrait photos. But some things I wanted to go over before I ended the video is the camera quality is much, much better in portrait mode, like in terms of depth. It looks amazing. I think the iPhone 7 is comparable to this, but this definitely does take it up a notch. And even just videos in general, like this one, they do 4K 60. You can tell even on the display looking here, it looks really nice, really smooth. And slow-mo at HD 1080p 120 is fine. It looks extremely high frame rate, like it has extremely high frame rate, but at 240 FPS it like starts screen tearing sort of, and I find that really weird. Just wanted to mention that. Also, to power off the phone, you need to hold these two buttons, and that's where you get the power off, the medical ID or emergency SOS. Don't keep spamming this. If you keep hitting the power button, it will automatically in 3 seconds dial 911 and give them your location. I'm not even joking. It'll start beeping a lot, and I can do it real quick here. And then it starts doing this weird alarm thing. Yeah. So don't do that by accident and then not notice that. I'm trained for it now, but another thing is that the wireless charging, I've tried it out. It works really nice. I'm not sure how fast it is, but in a new car, it charges. It just comes in, charges when it works. I noticed that I have problems now after updating. For some reason, it asks me to hold on. Let me see if I can replicate. It asked me to do that. It asked me to enter my. It asked me if I want to pay. Which doesn't make sense. So whenever I put it on for charging, I don't touch anything. It just asks me to confirm Apple Pay. I don't know what I'm paying, but maybe because the car is NFC, but Apple doesn't support NFC, near field communications, so I don't really understand what's happening there. Another problem I've noticed is that when you're deleting photos, that's my fault. I think I hit the power button while it was turning on. Oh yeah, and you could turn on the screen by just tapping it because it's OLED. And when you delete photos directly from the camera, let's take a photo here. It just replicates the photo. So if I delete immediately, it just brings back the photo. So I don't really understand why that happens. However, if you delete it from the photos, actual thing, it will delete from the whole phone. I'm not going to show you the rest of my photos. The bars on YouTube, YouTube app does fully utilize the UI and everything. It is updated, but one thing that won't change is, just click on this Hulu ad, is that there will be bars on the left and right, and it's sort of like a original iPhone. It honestly looks like an iPhone 6 when you do this, or iPhone 7, I guess, with the back. But the UI does go over. You will notice this does slide over. These don't quite go to the edges, but everything else seems to fully utilize the screen, even the small minimized version. The battery percentage, you'll notice that you can't see it up here. You never will be able to on this phone because there's just not enough screen up here, screen area. So you have to swipe down to see the battery percentage. If you guys never set your percentage on your battery, then you wouldn't care, but that's something that kind of annoyed me. Still does annoy me, but I'm over it for the most part because the battery life is pretty long. What is it, like 9 hours, I think, surfing the web? And lastly, Snapchat photos. Snapchat actually uses the video, and it takes a photo of the video, if that makes sense. So it basically takes a screenshot of your video, but you can still get good depth photos even from this video because that's how good the iPhone 10 is. If I said X in the video, by the way, I'm sorry. I'm still getting used to it. It's pronounced 10. Probably said that a lot when I was opening it. Right. So you still will get depth, like not the insane depth photos that I showed you in the video earlier, but you'll still get something. It'll still be probably the best Snapchat photos out there, given that Android doesn't handle, the version of Snapchat doesn't handle the screens well when it's capturing. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe and like the video if you liked it.